Good morning all, it is day 3. We are walking the Cricket Frog Trail to get to the venue. We did it yesterday as well. I've rode the bus twice and we paid 25 bucks for the shuttle passes. We ride it tonight on the way back to the square, but we thought it would just be easier to walk and that way we don't have to wait on people there. But it's day 3. Last night Miss Mystic was a lot of fun. I got there and I was shuffled around pretty much immediately to do a bunch of responsibilities, do interviews. I think they were giving us instructions on what we had to do. My nerves were insane. I didn't eat or drink anything, but I made it through the night and it was a lot of fun. I'm really glad that I did it. We're almost there. Today is our last day. We have 6 ops today, all throughout the day at random times. Our first one is at 11:15 and we should be here by 10:30. I think I'm gonna get a hot chocolate from one of the vendors and then go stand in line for our Ariel Kebble auto. 61, we already knocked out our first auto of the day, Ariel's, when we came to get lunch. We're doing it early lunch because we really won't have time to eat because the other ones are back to back. We'll sit in the panel after we're done, but we got social goat, full chicken fries, and I got myself an alcoholic drink. It's the Cure. Excuse me, nachos.
No, there's, I'm much more.
Is moving in normal speed, which will later on be sped up. And so Todd he did this sort of Phantom of the Opera sort of like arm in front of his face and just started walking like this. And we did so many takes of it. And it was just, you know, I don't know if this is a had to be there moment, but it was really funny.
No, that's spectacular.
Thank you.
You just triggered my favorite memory, which was the first time I saw someone vamp. I was in a scene with Ian. And this is, oh my gosh, it's so funny. When you watch the show, you're just like, yeah, he's in super speed mode. This is how this goes. But when you're filming, no one told, I don't know if this was yours, no one told me that this was gonna happen.
I didn't even know what vamping was. They were just like, okay, now vamp. And then they move, and I was like, what?
And I'm thinking like it's music, so it's like a vamp. Like we're just gonna hold, and the music's gonna play, and we're gonna like wait for the next part to come in, but that's not how it works at all. It's actually not a musical, it's a movie. But the, it's a TV show. I should go. The way that it worked was we did this scene and Ian was supposed to vamp at me and then push me into a wall. And I was like, okay, and we did the blocking, and when you block a scene, you're not always like totally doing it, and it depends on that person you're working with.
Blocking is planning where you're gonna go in the scene so they know the camera knows where to follow you.
Yeah, and some actors, like sometimes you really do the scene and start exploring and start working and they figure it out from there, and other actors like to like not be on set at all for it, and you just kind of put a mark down and that's where they go. So anyway, we didn't really block this scene, and Ian wasn't there, and they like told me what was gonna happen. And we get to this point, I just have to physically show you because it's bananas. But so we're doing this scene, and he's across the room from me, and we just get to this point, and instead of saying his next line, he just like turned to me and went. And I was like, what, are we still filming? What's happening? Like imagine you're used to just like saying lines and staying put, and then somebody's just like coming at you in slow motion with their face like, because in the vamp you have to like, it has to be physical so that it doesn't just look like a person just like going for a walk, you know? So anyway, it's so weird to watch. And I remember I almost like broke. It was like, cause I'm sorry, what's happening? Can someone like explain to me? And then after the take, they showed me and then I was used to it, but it is so funny. Bye.
She's wearing a really cute shirt, she's gonna tell you about it. Look at that! What is some of Kayla's merch? Where is it in the back? The merch. Next we have a woman that I find is so amazing and so deep, and her soul runs deep, and her name is Mia. Get up here! Right? Next we've got Matt. Get up here! Here he is! Get on up here! Woo! Get on up here! the sweetest souls of all time, Marguerite, get up here!
HGTV came to us. They wanted to make a show about it. They're like, we already got a fictional show about it.
A design show.
Yeah.
You guys don't know about this. So this was
You heard it here first.
Yeah, a whole thing that was shot.
I am going to say, I don't know that Jenna was the best parent either, but I shot a scene with Nina that was, I believe, after finding out about vampires, when Jenna finds out as vampires. But it was interesting because there was a lot of emotional turmoil in the scene, and it was kind of cool.
We really can't say
anything. It was, even though we were talking about how could you keep this crazy secret from me, like that, it was actually more about feeling that there'd been a failure in protecting Elena, and she sort of becomes the comforter. And I just think it's interesting because I'm sure most of the adults in this room have felt moments when they feel they're stepping into the parent role for the first time with their own parents. I don't know. So I feel like it kind of mirrored that a little bit.
That's a good one, right?
Boogie Nights in the 10th of December by George Saunders.
Matt, what about you?
It would either have to be like Red Dawn, or like The Burbs with Tom Hanks.
Not, what's the one with the
There's no
volleyball?
ors, Matthew.
Passed away.
There's no ors. Or.
All right, Red
One
Dawn.
and one.
Red Dawn.
Red Dawn.
It's Red Dawn. It's Red Dawn. And then Book.
Yeah, Boogie.
You gotta Revelations.
Intense, but okay.
Intense.
Sarah, what about you?
I have another ridiculous answer because my favorite book is called Sweetland, and it's a very niche Canadian novel, and I was in the adaptation film.
That is amazing.
That's my ridiculous answer.
I love
It's
it.
my favorite book.
I love it. Mia, Melinda.
It comes to mind because I just saw it again, Deer Hunter. Which is,
Well, that's a great one.
And a book, maybe. Honors the Night.
Tender's the Night.
Yeah. Okay, Melinda.
I have two movies that I just live by. I mean, first of all, my favorite comedy of all time is Young Frankenstein. And because I saw my dad laugh at a young age and it taught me humor. I was like, that he's laughing, I'm like, okay, so to this day. And also just because if I ever got stoned in high school, I would do the entire movie of All That Jazz and sing and dance. So All That Jazz is just my thing. It's so wild, like, there's so many books, and for some reason, Memoirs of a Geisha just popped into my head.
Oh,
And Revelations, so.
Okay, so here's the thing. I'm by myself on this desert island. I need some comedy, so I would probably go for a comedy. It would be something old, like Philadelphia Story, like something old and funny and witty, just so that it would I just have to be lightening up. Stimulate. And then a book might be like a Charles Dickens book that's like whatever the longest one is that isn't sad. I'm alone. I think I need some cheering up. So I just need a lot of words that are not sad, that are kind of well strung together.
I get that. I love that. And I'm just going to pipe in and say, if anyone knows, Laura Lynn Jackson is my favorite psychic medium of all time, and her book is called Signs. And for anyone who's lost a loved one, she talks about how you can communicate with them from the
What happened, but we got a ambo and a fire truck. Out of the panel, we watched 1.5 to 2. You know, we're in Michael Trevino's auto line. We're at the back of it. You're fine. It's him. Heretic line is insane. Wrapped around cars. We have yet to have to stand in these lines because we've had so many autos that were over there. We didn't have to deal with the photos that were in these lines. Wrapped around cars in the parking lot. Watching the panel while we're in line for a photo op.
made them find friends that they didn't have before, made them understand that they decided wanted to be a storyteller. Storytelling is you know, in love, whatever. Not everything is love received. Thank you guys so much. We know that this is rare. I think, you know, there are lots of big shows and there's a bit of war and the country attention and all this stuff that we never get to see from like this and look at it. Sorry.
Thank you guys. Thank you so much. Is there a Paul Wesley autograph line?
That one.
I don't.
Let's see. What are they doing?
From Atlanta. No. Oh, for dinner because I didn't go to his concert.
Yeah, blame it on me. Who are you on in line for?
Candace.
Candace?
Paul.
Wow.
I'm
just waiting
I don't know if they started lining up yet.
The show in other ways, but there was something really wonderful about that. So yeah, thank you for the question. Thank you.
Long story short, we used to literally go over to her house because I didn't have cable every week to watch new episodes of Vampire Diaries. And then we had an awful falling out after high school. And the only reason we are here right now is because you brought Joe back on Legacies, and I happened to DM her after she had me blocked. We weren't following each other. DM'd her the video and was like, nobody else is gonna get how significant this is except for you. So my question is, how did you ever expect this to be as impactful? Because really, we wouldn't have our relationship. We travel from different parts of the country to be here. She lives in Vegas, I'm from Pennsylvania, and we came here just to see you guys.
Oh my God.
That's a great story.
Love that you're close again. Don't lose it again.
No.
You had the first season. It was really just, hi. Hey. Having a shared experience when you love something on television. We feel that way about Friday Night Lights.
Yes.
You know, and other things, when you get to live those things together, it's so great. And then to be able to, for us to know that moment in the show actually brought you guys back together is really meaningful. So thank you.
Yes.
It's really hard. And during the strike, I really did sit and think okay, this industry is changing. I don't necessarily love the way it's changing. What else could I do? And I do not have an answer. It's just in my bones. I don't know how to fall in love with anything else.
Important things that go on in the world. You know how we know they're important? How we shape them.
Lines took forever. We were in the front of it, but she didn't start until 30 minutes after her time because she was, I guess, eating or something. So that's forever. But we're in Paul's line. Thankfully, it keeps growing, so I don't feel like I'm at the end of it. And after Paul, we have one more. We have Michael Malarkey, which is the last one, and then we are done for the con. Con week is officially over, and then we are going to Street Charlie's event, which is after a party, so it's a hurrah for the whole weekend that went on. This board is almost completely full. There wasn't a lot of original people here, so we didn't get a lot of autographs from them, but I think there's 4 on there.
A really good idea. You're always looking for ways to take characters and to do things with your characters that you haven't done before. So there was a little bit of wanting Kat and Bonnie to be able to go dark for a while and be bad, because she sort of hadn't had her run at that yet, There was needing Stefan to do something really, really horrible when his humanity was off. It so happened we were shooting on that scene on the day after the 2016 election, and a house that used to be a plantation slave house, and suddenly it just all felt very wrong, and sad and not in a good way, and so it's painful and beautiful, and I loved watching Bonnie come out the other side of that grief and move on, but I don't know if we would do it again. I don't know. When all was said and done, it actually felt kind of mean.
You are also vindicated. We can keep going until
everything is cleared out. Local is the only thing still open in the Froyo place. I screamed into the panel building and see if we can finish watching like the last, like it's a writer's panel. There's only 2 left on there because Marguerite had to leave to go do her photos. The last pizzas that they had at Local, I got a pepperoni, she got a buffalo chicken, and they won't let us back in to watch the panel for some odd reason. So we're just gonna sit on the eat our dinner and see if we can catch celebrities coming out of the door. And I was right. We've already seen Michael Malarkey, and this is the second time we've seen Candace. She's going home. There's Nina's dog Maverick right there. You're so cute! I mean, you don't want to go. I don't want to bring my dog. No. And the heretics, or 2 of them.
I said over here. Yeah, we got that.
This is what I wanted a picture of.
At some point, Nina was in this room doing a video.
Yeah.
The other day.
Maybe she just. We are in the square. I went around and took little snippets of the Christmas town because it's our last night here to go get my car, and we are going to head over. Ooh, my choker's on. Backwards to the after party, which is at a filming location that they did for the originals and in Sweet Magnolias. And I remember it from Sweet Magnolias mainly because that's the one that I just watched. This tree on top of your car. What?
I don't know what I'm supposed to do other than do this. I'm just gonna smile and say okay, she's ready for you. No. Get back! No.
However, the drink can still be made. It will just be in another vessel. Okay? No problem. The drink's still good.
I don't think